Welcome to the AfterMat, your source for WWE pay-per-view recaps. I'm your host, the People's Champ Cal, and alongside me as always, I have my tag team partner, the Glamazon Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
Hello. Another Monday, another recap.
Yes, and it is almost the end of the year. We're getting towards the final laps of the WWE pay-per-views. And the next one's a big one, but this was like a buffer in between, and you know what I always say about those buffer matches when it comes to wrestling, in between the two main events they usually have. It's where you go to the bathroom. Did it feel like that for you? How did you feel about this event?
It definitely had its ups and it definitely had its downs. Yeah, it was a pay-per-view that happened.
See, for me, like, I felt like it started off extremely slowly, I didn't like how some of the matches were ending. It was just really bad. There was just a lot of bad stuff starting. It was like a bad snowball effect. Towards the end, though, it got a lot better, in my opinion. But it didn't really start out too well, and I wasn't looking forward to this. Because, on the card, it looked like a really great pay-per-view. Well, when it came to what's happened, like, how it played out, and I'm sure a lot of it sets up for future stuff, as we'll see, and we know like that. But, that's how I felt. Like, it wasn't really that great of a pay-per-view from what was promised on the card. Like, the card had a lot of promise. And I know one of the matches you were excited about was the Uso versus Roman Reigns match, and we were so surprised to see that was the first match. Well, not the first match of the night, because it wasn't the kickoff match, but it was the first match of the pay-per-view, which is weird to see. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But, yeah, it was just odd. I felt like it was a very weird snowball effect about how things happened, and... But I guess we should start off with the pre-show match, which featured R-Truth and Drew Gulak. And I think this might be two pay-per-views in a row. I'm not sure if I'm covering the pre-show match, which I usually never do. But I actually watched this one. Welcome, Anastasia. How are you?
This is how you know 2020 has been a weird year.
Yeah, that's how you know it's been weird if I'm covering the pre-shows. But yeah, this match featured is a 24/7 championship match. Under normal rules, I guess there's some stipulations I didn't know about. And there's R-Truth defending his championship against Drew Gulak. And what we were surprised to see for a 24/7 match was had actual wrestling. Like, it wasn't just like a straight-up roll-up or sneaky tactics. It's actually a real wrestling match. And it started out, however, not real or wasn't real, who knows, because Drew Gulak was teasing little Jimmy, called him over to come sit on his lap, play with him, give him a high five, do some handshakes, and then he kicked little Jimmy. And that fired up R-Truth, who went off in a house of fire and a lot of moves. And then finally, Drew Gulak's superior wrestling took over. He was able to take the advantage of R-Truth in those moments. However, R-Truth channeled his childhood hero, John Cena, and hit a few of those moves, including the 5-knuckle shuffle, until Drew Gulak's superior wrestling took over again. And he was basically dominating the rest of that match until a sneaky pin roll-up by R-Truth ended up winning the match and retaining the belt for him. Apparently I heard that he won the championship 42 times. So he's a 42-time... This doesn't count as a win for him. I mean, it counts as a win, but not a championship win, because he just retained it. But while they're talking about the match, he said it's his 42-time... 20%. That's got to be a record for championships. It has to be. I don't know. I'm sure there's some obscure wrestling league out there that has a more... Like, someone's won it 100 times or something, but I don't know about that. Your thoughts about this match? I know you're a Drew Gulak fan and an R-Truth fan, I think. So,
yeah.
What do you think?
I enjoyed that we got some actual wrestling for this title. This title usually is won on shenanigans. I'm not to say there wasn't shenanigans on this match, because especially when you have R-Truth involved and his wacky character states, you're definitely going to get that no matter what he's doing. But I really did enjoy it. I want to get more of these, honestly. Like, it's all fun to see the gimmicks and the backstageness of going for the 24/7 title. Of course, in like its hardcore title days, like they did the same thing. But we still have like actual matches, and I would kind of like to see that. Maybe if we can't get it every week, maybe every other week, and maybe throw in some small storylines here and there, like before pay-per-views or somewhat, so that we can still. I mean, I know it's a gimmick title, it's a fun title, but to still give it a little bit of weight to it. You know, maybe just a 3-pound weight to it, so that we could still have some fun with it. It still feels like it means something, and that way, when other people are getting the title, it doesn't always feel like a throwaway type of thing. But I am enjoying R-Truth, and this was like made for him, honestly. It might have been. They might have brought this back just to make it for him. I don't know, but he's working with it very well.
Yeah, I'm glad he's being rewarded. Like, obviously, we're probably not going to see him as an Intercontinental World Champion, world title holder, maybe ever again. But him during the Little Jimmy General skits against John Cena, that was probably one of his best feuds, if ever his best feud. Now he's looking good with the 24/7 championship. Speaking of championships, though, now we go to one of the big titles, the SmackDown Men's Champion. That's not what it's called anymore. It's called the Universal title, I think. Yeah, the Universal title that Roman Reigns has against Hell in a Cell against Jey Uso, and it's an I Quit match. And Felicia will explain the stipulations and such.
Yeah. So the stipulation was that if Jey Uso were to say the words "I quit" in this match, which is the stipulation of an I Quit match, that he and in turn his brother and his whole family, their whole families would be, from what my understanding, exonerated from the Anoa'i tribe. That's what they made it seem like. Maybe we might get a little bit more explanation come Friday, but it made it seem like they would just be excommunicated from the family. So that's what it sounded like Roman Reigns said on Friday, or that was the intention he was given. So there was a lot of weight on Jey, so to speak, to win this match, not only just for title, but to like keep his family's namesake, like I guess on the tribunal board, so to speak. And I really don't really know how to recap this match, because there was a lot of lulls going in, as they had to express, what was this, maybe 40 minutes of TV time for this match. But it started with Reigns being very dominant within this match. Just spear after spear. There was a couple of Superman punches, but the leading storyline the leading story of the match would be Jey just would not quit no matter what Reigns did to him. But Jey definitely got some offense in. Did a couple of suicide dives off the top rope. He would get in his infamous Uso kicks in the middle of the ring, corner of the ring, outside the ring. But again, could not keep the quote unquote big dog down if you're Michael Cole. And then as the match wore on, you can see the frustration in Reigns and not being able to make Jay say I quit. So of course, that's when the weapons are gonna come out. And there was chair shots, and I think there might have been a kendo stick, or there might have been another Hell in a Cell match. There was 3 of them with a lot of intensity going on. But still, all in all, Jay just would not quit. And even Jay getting some weapons offense going on with a leather strap, just constantly like hitting Reigns with it. Even got him in a submissive chokehold with the strap. They tried to feign like Roman like passed out, even though he was still kind of moving, so it's not technically unconscious. But and then out of nowhere he hits a Superman punch because he's the new John Cena, I guess. He has infinite lifelines, so to speak. But again, and then after that, just Reigns going at it, hitting Jay with the steel stairs, even as far as doing what they call the drive-by when Jay's head was hanging off the ring, and Reigns runs in with the double kick to the head with the steel chairs, to where the fact that again just would not quit. And I think the ref even the ref was trying to tell Reigns, like, I need to stop this match, like he's like incapacitated, he cannot wrestle anymore. And Roman, I guess he has carte blanche of doing whatever he wants, apparently, just throws the ref out of the ring. And then we get the officials running down the ramp saying, okay, so you need to stop this match, time to go. And Reigns like fakes it, he's gonna leave, but comes back, and I think he has Jay prone underneath the steel chair as if he's gonna like bring it down, like break his neck, which we all know is not going to happen actually. But in turn brings Jimmy Uso out to be like, hey man, stop, this is not you, like what are you doing, this is our family, why are you like doing this, the whole shenanigans of acting going on. And then another performance of acting where Reigns acts as if he's going to come to his senses and be like, you know what, you're right, I shouldn't be doing this. Puts Jay in a little handshake, and then promptly puts him in a chokehold. And I think he acts as if he's going to do the same to Jay that he's about to do to he does the same to Jimmy as he's about to do to Jay, and then that prompts Jay to say, I quit, so he does not get his brother hurt in the run. So that's the story that they're going to run with. So with that being, Jay has said I quit. So in the scheme of things, they must be excommunicated from the NOI family. But Reigns wins, and he gets approached by, I think it was his grandfather and his father, I believe, though, who were at the top of the ramp.
His uncle.
Giving them the ceremonial. Oh, okay. The ceremonial. What do you call those? I can't come up with words. Like Thank you. I think so. Basically just congratulate him on being tribal leader, I presume. But there's still more to the story to be told. And honestly, like, I was so excited for this match because this has probably been one of the best through lines of story that we've gotten in the last couple of weeks, as I guess from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. And I was just really expecting a really like nice drag out fight between the both of them, because they're both capable of doing that, as we've seen the Usos, even though they were a team in a Hell in a Cell, so we know they're capable of that aggressive nature. But they kind of just gave Roman the whole dominant arc, to where you never really believed that he was going to be in trouble whatsoever. Like, you never really believed that Jay could really pull it off, except for that small submissive maneuver, but that was like 2 minutes. And I'm pretty sure Cal's gonna harp on it as well. There was some really big lulls in this match. Like I said, it was about 45 minutes, or maybe 30, maybe 42 if you don't count for like promos and entrances. But the really drops in lull was really kind of like took me out of the match. But again, they're still telling a good story, just that in that particular match, there was just too many big gaps that was kind of like pulling me out of it. What did you think?
Yeah, so that's the lulls were. I texted you right when that happened, because it was like a lot of like probably maybe 10 minutes of stoppage time. Like, not stoppage time like the match stopped. It was just like nothing happened, and it was just like saying like, come on, give up. Like, of them talking for like literally 10 minutes of that whole match was them like just sitting there like talking, like, get like like Reigns is like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. and Jay saying like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm never gonna give up. You know, you're gonna get yours now. You're gonna get yours. Man, that's what I didn't like. Comes to the ending, and I think Big Time was saying he enjoyed it because he liked the story and that's how it should be told. Entertain, on the other hand, welcome Entertain, who just joined us, wasn't happy about it really. From what I saw in his tweet, and I told him to wait till what I say. What are the Usos? They're tag team wrestlers, correct? And how many wrestling matches do you think they've tag team wrestling matches? How do you think they've been in?
Hundreds,
if not thousands, right? Because no, probably thousands, right? Because if they wrestle almost every day, right? And that's like 100.
I mean, the hundred is probably just them in the
one year. It's 100 in probably 1 year, maybe more than that. Like let's say 200 a year. So in 5 years, they probably wrestled 1,000 matches, right? So thousands of matches, I would say, as a tag team. What happens when Jimmy's being pinned in the ring, and Jay's on that apron? Jet and Jimmy can't get out of it. What does Jay do? He probably comes in, kicks the other guy in the back of the head, breaks up the pin. What happens when Jimmy's in a submission hold and he can't get out, and Jay's on the apron? You come in, kick him in the head, usually once. Oh my God, the hold's broken. So why, when he's laying right next to him, he could probably get up. Maybe he's so out of it he couldn't get up, but he was able to get up and like hug him and all that stuff. Man, yeah. So he's saying, and he's saying the same thing. Asking someone to quit like for 20 minutes slows it down. Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. It was like 10 minutes of downtime. Why, when your brother or your tag team partner is in a chokehold right next to you, you don't hit the guy? You have chairs, you have everything near you, and you don't hit the guy to break the chokehold. Instead, you say I quit, which will like ruin your entire. Delisha, if it's you and your family was on the line, like God forbid, like guns were put to their head, saying, "Oh, are you gonna say I quit?" You know, or are you gonna fight your way out of it? Right? I mean, it's not life or death in this case. Let's say your family has to be like put in prison or something. I don't know, whatever that like will separate your family from, something bad will happen to your family, or you got to fight. What are you gonna do? Like it's the stupidest thing. Like, and family and honor means a lot to that family. So that's a huge thing. So for him not to fight at the end, he fought all his way for himself. He couldn't fight for his brother. They're tag team partners. That's the whole point. They're brothers, tag team. So you're gonna fight for yourself, but not for your brother? Come on. That's what.
I was gonna say again, like we've seen a good amount of time this year is like good concept, not great in execution. Like it would have been better if like Heyman was like holding down Jay while Reigns was attacking Jimmy, and with the microphone like he's gonna do it, and then that's what forces him to say I quit,
or they handcuff him.
But like you said, yeah,
they should have handcuffed him. Like Heyman should have had handcuffs. Or anything. Like, they had that bull rope and all that. They could have tied any of that. Like, any of that stuff they could have tied so that Jay could not get to Jimmy. That's what they should have done. Mm-hmm. And then Heyman would have, like you said... Right. That's a great point. If Heyman is right there, he could have the microphone and be like, give up. And that's what should have... That I would have accepted. But the fact that they're tag team and all they do is save each other in real matches, why not, when your whole family is on the line... You don't save your partner, your brother, right? Missed opportunity there. So that's my whole gripe with it. I mean, it was great storytelling. Like Entertain said, there's too much downtime. We said that as well, too much downtime. They could have cut this match 20 minutes and it would have been fine. But then I guess you wouldn't have seen the brutality as like it played along kind of thing, That's what the issue was. But we're not going to do too much stoppage time in this match because that's what we thought about it. As we see... I don't know if you want to hear my thoughts about where I see this going. Basically, I think Roman is going to keep making him do like terrible stuff over and over until, they lose it. It's going to be a while. And then finally, like, one of them's going to snap and be like, you're not the real chief of the family. We have someone who we actually look up to. And that's going to end up being The Rock. And then, then the Roman's like, you know what, you're right. And, like, first he's going to, like, deny it and stuff, and then he's going to realize it, like, that it is The Rock. And then from Royal Rumble on, he's going to try to get The Rock into the ring, and The Rock's like, no, like, I can't fight you, you're my Uso, like, I can't fight you, blah, 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 over and over, until Roman threatens Rock's family. Then when Roman threatens Rock's family, that's when they're finally get him back into the ring for a WrestleMania match at WrestleMania, whatever WrestleMania we're at now. I lost count. Whatever WrestleMania it is, 37 maybe, 38, 36, 35, who knows. Whatever it is, that WrestleMania is going to be Rock versus Roman for like, I feel like the only way, like I said this, I think on the last AfterMat, the only way Rock can lose is he can't lose cleanly. Because if Roman's a heel, Rock cannot lose cleanly. And I feel like that's when the Usos will actually turn to Roman's side. Like, after having all that, they're going to say, this is our time now. You know, we've had your time in the spotlight. We no longer want you to be the chief. We don't mind seeing Roman as a chief, but no longer you, because your time is over. You have other stuff to do. Go make movies. And they're going to team up and help Roman defeat Rock at WrestleMania. That's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, I had actually similar thoughts. If, you know... Because I feel like The Rock would still be on board with it. It's just all, you know, Hollywood insurances they have to worry about. But yeah, I think that's kind of the way to go. Because when this all started, I really do. I was thinking like, wait a minute. I usually the oldest elder was usually the tribal chief or something like that. And I was like, I don't think it's Roman. And it was, I was like, someone's got to come in to be like to challenge him, be like, actually, no, you're not. But we might be thrown for a loop, and it might actually not be The Rock. It might be someone else in the Anoa'i family, but who knows? But I'm still invested in the storyline, but they just kind of dropped the ball with this last match.
I don't think anyone's as significant as The Rock in the Anoa'i family. Also,
for sure.
I feel like because I know Rock's mom is usually at the pay-per-views at some of them before COVID happened. You know, she was always in the front row when the Anoa'i family was wrestling.
Happy birthday, by the way. I think it was yesterday, but still.
Rock's mother's birthday?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, yeah, she, you know, somehow, like, Roman can go to her house and, like, jump her or something, or threaten her, hey, welcome up, Munster, or, like, have Rock on the phone, like, on a video conference, and he's there standing next to, like, Rock's mom, and she thinks he's there, Roman's there for, like, good intentions, but doesn't know that Roman's a heel kind of thing. But before that happens, you know, I said there's going to be time to get there, right? What can happen in that time is that Rikishi can come and try to convince Roman to, like, stop, you know, what you're doing. You know, I'm an elder, you should listen to me, respect me. And then the biggest thing will be is that Roman tells the Usos to beat up their own father. So they'll, like, super kick Rikishi at the same time, and then something like... They don't want to, but, you know, the whole thing with where they're going, that's what I can see happening as well. And ultimately it leads, when the whole family's going into turmoil with every member getting, like, beaten up, maybe Tamina will get beaten up, who knows what will happen, Nia Jax, you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but eventually it's going to bring out The Rock, and that's what's going to bring it the WrestleMania, whatever match this is going to be.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they are the tag team champions, meaning, so, I mean, she is part of the tag team, so she can be on SmackDown. If she so pleases.
As if those rules even matter anymore in this. And
WWE. Tamina's there somewhere. I don't even know what brand she's on. She's there somewhere. Yeah.
So.
And there's other members of that family on the roster on certain places. I don't remember where and on what brand, but they're there too.
Really? I had no idea. But yeah, basically they have a lot to work with. At anyone's fair game, I think. I think they'd have to tell The Rock now. I think before any of this happened, they probably told The Rock way in advance about all this. And that's where we're getting to, but that's what I see happening. The next match features Jeff Hardy versus Elias. I think Jeff Hardy tried to kill Elias back in the day with a car, and now we're here.
Allegedly.
He did.
I mean, it was proven not true, but still, that's what this is all harping on. Well, you know, they gave a lot of time to the last match, and they decided, forget this match, and gave this like 3 minutes. Actually, this match was so short, my Fire Stick that I was watching the network on went out, and by the time it was back online, this match was over, so I had to go back and rewatch it. But in case, you know, you forgot what happened, because this happened months and months ago on SmackDown, when they were a part of that brand before this, the draft, there was allegedly a red-haired man who ran into Elias, and that's what kept him out for the last couple of months. And it was implied that it was Jeff Hardy because they found him down the road, smelling of alcohol. Even though in that next couple of weeks, it was already proven that he wasn't the one who did it. When Elias came back with Jeff at the Raw, same as Jeff, he came and hit him with a guitar, and then that's how we got this match. We started out with Elias giving us another concert because he's got a new album out coming out today. I forgot the name of it already. That's how much we care. Singing about
something
how,
universal or
Jeff
universe something.
Oh, okay. Oh, how Jeff took him out, even though we know it's not true. But he pretty much was dominating pretty much a good portion of the match, and even giving him a sit-up powerbomb from the what's it called, electric chair position, giving him almost the win. And then Hardy will come back with the little whistle in the wind. By the time he was going up for the Swanton, he rolled out of the ring, grabbed the guitar to make like he was going to hit Jeff. Jeff got a hold of the guitar, hit Elias with the guitar. DQ, no one, well, Hardy wins. I mean, Elias wins via DQ, but yeah, it really just didn't need to be on pay-per-view. This was honestly a filler match just to move us along. And I like Hardy, I like Jeff. I mean, I like Elias, but this match didn't need to happen. Those are my feelings on it.
Not much to say about this match. I feel like it was a filler match. I think they should have just kept with the main 4 matches, whatever all the elements of the matches. They should have kept with those. And that's pretty much all they needed on the card to make it a solid card. The Miz and Miz match was good too because it's for a stipulation, as well as the 24/7. That was good for a stipulation. Other than that, I feel like other matches were superfluous or excess, not necessary. Speaking of, so you said this was a short match. An even shorter match than that was this match featuring Otis against Miz, where Otis's Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. Now, if you remember and go back right after the Money in the Bank pay-per-view happened, there was something called AfterMat, which covered Money in the Bank, where this guy right here said that Otis will end up probably losing his Money in the Bank briefcase to anyone. I was probably thinking Dolph Ziggler in that case, but hey, it comes down to the Miz now. And basically the match starts with the Miz dominating a little bit until Otis gets the upper hand. Otis starts to go for the Caterpillar, where John Morrison pulls out Miz so he can't hit the Caterpillar. And then Otis starts getting the upper hand a little bit more, and then knocks Miz to the ground. John Morrison gets the briefcase, tries to go hit Otis with it. However, the ref sees it, ejects him, and the ref puts the Money Bank briefcase down. So then Tucker picks it up. Tucker hits Otis, turning heel. And then Miz is shocked and pins him. 1, 2, 3. Miz is your new Mr. Money in the Bank. And that's great to see because now I think he can go to either brand, right? I think with that.
Technically, yeah. Unless that changed too, but technically, yeah.
Yeah, I guess he can. He can challenge any champion. I think, right? Even NXT, right? Isn't that when Charlotte did? Charlotte challenged Rhea Ripley, right?
No, she won the Royal Rumble. Right? Oh, I forget.
Asuka won the. That's right. Never mind. Whatever, whoever it was. Let's just say he can go fight anybody because that'll make it more interesting. But yeah, Miz is your new Mr. Money in the Bank. Not much to say about this match. Just after the heel turn, Delisha said it best. WWE doesn't like friends, and like when I always talk about we need a tag team, why are they getting rid of tag teams? They got rid of them. They got rid of another tag team also. I forgot who it was. They split up another tag team. Oh, the Garza and the other guy, Andrade. They've been splitting up a lot of tag teams lately, which is kind of like Garza. I mean those guys I don't mind, but Otis and Tucker, like they're like a tag team, right? They I don't think they're really good on their own. They are a tag team, so I don't know. That's the only thoughts about that. Anything you gotta say, Alicia?
Just that again. I mean, while the Tucker heel tone was probably predictable, but like you said, like why are we breaking up tag teams when we it's still kind of weak in that division still. Again, we're on that roller coaster with the tag team division, but yeah, like again, I don't see. I mean, maybe Otis a little bit might have a little bit more trajectory because of his charisma, but I don't see Tucker really going far as a single star. But I could be wrong. There could be facets of him that we just haven't been able to see because he got outshined by Tucker, which was his case in the backstage segment of why he attacked Otis anyway. But we'll have to see in the next couple of weeks.
All right, that brings us to our next match. where we got a legit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, featuring SmackDown's Women's Champion Bayley against Sasha Banks, her former best friend, in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, so this one probably was my second anticipated match, just to see how it would go. And I would say, again, it's kind of hard to do like a full like recap of the match because it was just this one, like this match. There was so much in this match to pay attention to that it's hard to go through like ABC through line. But we started out with Banks taking the chair that they keep saying, and they say it's the chair she got hit with. We don't know. It's a single black chair with the necks on it. That she takes it and throws it out of the ring before the full Hell in a Cell cage could lower, so that Bayley could not use it, which was kind of strange anyway because there are weapons underneath the ring, so it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference. Although we do see it come into play later on. But this one was a non-stop action-filled match, and I don't recall. Someone can hopefully maybe fact check this me in the comments. I do believe this is the second Hell in a Cell match between the women, with the first being Banks and Charlotte, and to where that one I think we had a lot. Third?
Because this is Sasha's third. She's been in every single one. I think she's fought Becky Lynch last year.
Oh, okay.
Sasha's been in every single Hell in a Cell.
Well, third time was a charm because this one was full of non-stop action, including a lot of out-of-ring weapon play, to where Banks was set up on the table as like a ramp and running and hitting the Meteora. I can never say that. I never can really say that word right. Am I saying it right? Meteora.
Yeah.
In driving her to the. I think she did it twice in a row, honestly. And then for constant constant near falls to where you think one or the other while such things like down in this match, there was a lot of back and forth, like they really wanted them to could have won it at any time, but they kept just kicking out. And then we really have excuse me.
Bless you.
We would have Bayley hitting like a similar move with the ring a little bit later, throwing Banks onto a chair that had been propped up between the two turnbuckles, and then but then Banks would fire back with the backstabber into her bank statement, but Bayley would slide out of the ring and to avoid getting the submission, and would slam Sasha's head into the ring frame before hitting her with the kendo stick. This is where they come into play. I knew there was kendo stick somewhere, always. And then this was kind of like a weird funny moment where Bayley starts duct taping two kendo sticks together, and she even asked the ref for help because she was quote unquote sweaty, which I thought that was pretty funny and a pretty nice little character moment for heel Bayley. They didn't really get to do anything with the sticks because Sasha would go and spray her with the fire extinguisher, which blinds your opponent for a little while. But before Sasha could get any more offense, and Bayley was actually able to grab the steel chair because it was just close enough to the opening of the door to where she could like slide it through. And but Bayley managed to grab the chair, but Sasha would hit her with the kendo sticks. And then Bayley would go on and just get a ladder to stick between two chairs to try to hit the, I guess even maybe not the frog splash, hers is the elbow. Forearm.
Oh.
Right?
Does she shoot an elbow? I thought she has an elbow off the top.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Just got my body parts mixed up. But Sasha would get out of the way. And excuse me. It's not COVID, I promise. It's just dry air because of the change in seasonings. But so surprisingly, Sasha would get out the way and hit a belly to belly, even though they said Bayley to belly, but when it's not Bayley doing it, it's just a regular belly to belly for the 2 count. And then Bayley would try it later on for the Bayley to belly, the correct term this time, but also would get Sasha to get out of it and hit the bank statement with the chair wrapped around Bayley's head. I don't the way they were positioning it, I didn't see where the extra pressure was coming from, but it still looked cool. And you would get Bailey to tap out, and Sasha Banks wins her first SmackDown women's title to have now I guess she's the first one to hold all 4 women's titles. I think no, she's not. Never mind. She finally
right?
she finally gets to be holder of all 4 women's titles at some point in her career.
Yeah. So we were asking about what more damage I would have done. She was actually kicking the chair as she was holding her in, so it would fold in. That's what was doing more damage.
Oh, okay.
Like she was kicking it so that, you know how like when you like fold a chair, like a folding chair is folded like that. She was kicking part of it so that it would fold in. But yeah, so
I feel like the side view camera would have been a better angle for that then.
Yeah. So what I was saying to you, that this, like, you know, obviously there's a little bit of sloppiness, but we saw some sloppiness in the men's Hell in the Cell match. But this was definitely the best match of the night, in my opinion. It was so well done. A lot of great spots. I think the worst spot of the match actually was the Bailey. She tried to make a joke out of it about her taping the thing and saying her hands are sweating and she needed help. But she ended up messing that up, so she gave up on it. That's why she didn't go to that spot later, because she messed it up. Because when she went up to walk over, she tripped and she broke her little thing that she made. So that was kind of bad. But it was great. Otherwise, Bailey interacted with the commentators as well, because no one's there, so she could hear the commentators. So she was interacting with them, saying like, "Yeah, it was my fault. She's like that," and all that. So that was great to see as well. Welcome, big time. But yeah, this was probably the match of the night. It was great. I even texted Delete saying this could be the match of the year. It's probably going to be in contention for the AfterMat award, because I feel like was a great match. I enjoyed it thoroughly. They put everything on the line. This is very much, yes, entertaining, saying like the ending as well. This is very much like their match they put out at the first ever NXT TakeOver I've seen. Brooklyn, I think NXT TakeOver 1. NXT Brooklyn 1 was the first one I ever seen, and that was a great match, and they put it on. That's the only thing this match was missing, was a Spanish fly that they did from that match. They should have done it in this match. That would have been cool, onto like a ladder or onto a thing. That would maybe way too dangerous, but still cool to see. Sasha did try the frog splash, but then got hit by. That was another stupid moment. Like that was like with the whole thing about with Jey Uso not saving Jimmy, you know, by kicking Roman. Why would you kick the chair over to Bailey, right? And then go for a frog splash knowing it's right next to her? Anyway, that was stupid. But yeah, other than that, that was a great match. I can't wait till Sasha loses the title on Raw tonight, because, you know, Sasha can't ever defend her title more than... She never can defend her title, first of all. She usually loses it in a week. I know it's a SmackDown Women's Championship, but that's the joke, because it's Raw tonight, and she'll end up losing the title, because that's just... They should never let her hold the title. I really hope she holds the title, at least through Survivor Series, because... Actually... That's the great thing. If they had the 3-way match, she can't lose the title, right? So she'll actually...
That's how she gets saved.
Yes, unless it... You know, sometimes they make it a one-off match between, like... You know, they might... Like, last year, I think Brock Lesnar didn't participate in the men's 3-way match. He was off on his own. So maybe they could do that also. But if she's in the 3-way match, then her title can't be lost. So then she'll at least hold it till the next final pay-per-view of the year, unless she loses at SmackDown or something like that, which I hope she doesn't. She usually does, but I think finally she's gonna hold it till WrestleMania. I think. I see a long reign for her.
I think so too.
Because Bailey just held it for 380 days, so I can't see her losing it now. But great match, definitely could be match of the year for us. Even for WWE standards as well. These women put out a great show. I'm finally glad to see Sasha as champion again, and hopefully she holds it. The next match was an impromptu match made during the pre-show, where one member of the Hurt Business, well, the Retribution put out the challenge, Mustafa Ali put out the challenge saying, you pick one guy, you could even pick one of our guys, and we'll fight. So MVP answered saying, Bobby Lashley, he's the king of the Lions, we'll send him into the Lions Den. And then Benjamin joked, "Oh, put him against the man in the stupid mask," and they all wear stupid masks. So they're like, "Oh, how about Slapjack?" And I didn't even know who Slapjack was. I thought that was Dio Madden's character, but it wasn't. It was just some guy who looked like a bootleg shrunken Jason Voorhees. And MVP even put out a challenge saying, "Hey, just let him come out, and we'll let only Bobby Lashley come out and make it a one-on-one match." And that was smart by MVP, because this guy didn't even... when he came out, I thought it was like... I texted Alicia, this looks like a video... I think I even tweeted it saying this looks like a video game in SmackDown vs. Raw, when, like, you have your character and some random jobber comes out, usually wearing a mask. That's what it looked like. Bobby Lashley dominated this match. It was about 3 minutes long. Slapjack, I don't think even got a move in. He got put into the hurt lock and tapped out. That's when the rest of Retribution came out. Jumped Bobby Lashley. But Bobby Lashley was able to fight them off himself. So the two big guys who were like Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic, like they do absolutely nothing. It's so stupid. Like the Retribution was supposed to be, they scared everyone out of the ring. Granted, they had a chainsaw 1 week, but they've been scaring everyone out of the ring like for the first few weeks. Then and now they're nothing. Like it's kind of so stupid. Like I've seen better storylines like that they haven't followed through with, like the whole hacker incident that I've always been asking about. Like who is that hacker that revealed Sonya Deville to like Mandy Rose? You know, like all that kind of stuff. I want to know who that is. I don't care about this. I want to see Mustafa Ali do well again. Like this sucks. I'm glad he has a whole stable, but like they suck. Like there's nothing good about it. Yeah, that's about it. And then so the Hurt Business came out to save Bobby Lashley, even though he didn't save him because he fought them all by himself. Alicia, your thoughts?
Yeah, as soon as they made Retribution exclusively to Raw, I knew this was going downhill because the appeal of them was going to wear off, and then they revealed them to have these stupid nicknames and these stupid masks, and I was like, well, this is never going to get off the ground in a positive light. And I'm pretty sure if the crowd was actually in attendance, they will be shouting, "This sucks," because this sucks. And they should let them keep their real names. Maybe have them still have the mask for a little while. I don't know. But they, like you were saying, they should have kept it to where they were doing it on both brands. And even I guess they could have done it all the way up until the draft and then made them stay on one brand. Sure. And they should have kept that hackerness. Even if they wanted to, they could have just switched it over to Raw and then had it be revealed that it's Mustafa Ali. And he's like, I formed this group because I'm tired of the status quo. You can still kind of keep the same reason of why they're there. And we could have been cool. Like, it could have been, we know who these people are. I mean, because we know who these people are, we could have kept them, us knowing who they are. And it's like, we're not going to, stand or stick to your status quo of how you're going to run your brand, so to speak. We're going to cause havoc for as long as we can. And then I don't understand how the Hurt Business, they're a heel team going up against another supposedly like heel faction. So it's like, who are you supposed to root for? Yeah. It makes no sense. This has been sloppy since they had it all on their brand.
We spent more time on this match than this match. Entertainment says the mask looks like homemade paper plates with eyes. Yes, it does. I like Dominic Dijakovic was one of the best things in NXT with his feud with Kingslaying. Now he's some guy named T-Bar with a mask on. Come on.
Mia Yim was
cool too. Yeah.
And we haven't seen her do anything. Do anything wrestling wise.
And Dio Madden was like an announcer. Now he's like a guy. I don't even know what his name is. But okay, let's just forget this match because it's so stupid.
I like the Hurt music though. I like that. That's about it. That's all I can say positive about this match.
The final match was for the WWE Championship, featuring Drew McIntyre, the champion, defending against Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match. This was also a great match. Drew McIntyre came out first, and he was attacked from behind by a stage crew member, which ended up being Randy Orton using his normal tactics. And then that's when Randy Orton had a little bit of an advantage until Drew McIntyre snapped out of it, and then he went crazy by throwing Randy Orton into the cage, using basically Randy Orton tactics against himself. And then at one point he tried to throw the steel steps at Randy Orton. Obviously that wasn't going to happen while he was against the fence, and he ducked out of the way. They got back into the ring, and then we thought Drew McIntyre was going to end it early, going for the Claymore, but Orton moved out of the way and hit Drew with a chair, and then started working on his jaw that he fractured a few weeks ago or months ago. And then he started using his normal, calculated, methodical mannerisms and moves to keep the advantage over McIntyre. Finally, McIntyre was able to muster some strength and momentum and start doing belly to bellies and threw Randy Orton through a table. but the Viper then picked up a set of bolt cutters, used that to get out of the cage, goaded Drew McIntyre to come up there where he had a steel pipe waiting. However, and then I think Randall actually hit Drew in the leg with the steel pipe, but McIntyre still had the upper hand on top. So then Orton started to climb down. As they were climbing down, they started fighting, and then Orton threw McIntyre off the cage through the announcer's table. McIntyre started coughing up blood, and Orton started smiling about it. And then they got back into the ring. Then Orton started going for RKO, but Drew McIntyre countered it into a backslide. Only got a 2 count. Then he went to... Then Drew hit a Claymore. Orton rolled out of the ring, so he couldn't get the pin. So then Drew McIntyre dragged Orton back into the ring, went for another Claymore, I think, and that's when Orton ducked, like lay down flat on the ground, and Drew McIntyre jumped over him. Orton got back up, hit an RKO, 1, 2, 3. Now he is the 14-time champion, tying Triple H, and only behind Ric Flair and John Cena for 16 championships. So that was a pretty intense match. A lot of stuff happened. It was very cool to see. Great, very, like, as Delisha likes to say, like, the ring choreography and the ring psyche or psychology, that was great to see. Welcome, Zappy, which is, I think, Arrington. How are you doing? That was great to see, like, the ring psychology of Orton, and even Drew McIntyre going into Orton's bag of tricks to counter it was great to see. And finally, seeing Orton, I love Drew McIntyre, but seeing Orton win in this way was very cool to see. His home is kind of like Hell in the Cell. It should be called the Viper is Dead now. He's been winning a lot of championships in the Hell in the Cell, so it was cool to see. Great ring chemistry between the two, and it was a very good match overall. The brutality was good. The pacing was good. That and Sasha Banks Bayley match both had good pacing. Very little downtime. I feel like, obviously, we complained about the downtime in the other Hell in a Cell match. The only one time that they had downtime in the Bayley and Banks match is when Bayley tried to make a little contraption and she failed. And that ended up going into the favor of the match because that kind of showed that she took too much time and didn't pay attention to Banks, which caused the fire extinguisher thing to happen. So that stoppage time worked out well, as opposed to what happened early in the pay-per-view with the Roman Reigns and Jey Uso thing. This one didn't really have much lulling besides the climbing, obviously. It was very well paced, very well fought. Great. I think it was a good outcome. Good to see Orton on top again. I know Delisha's not a fan of Orton. I'd rather see McIntyre still stay champion. Because if they're doing the 3-way, like I say, I would love to see McIntyre, Balor. That's gonna be Reigns. They're probably gonna make Reigns win. It doesn't even matter who's in that thing. All right. Anyway, Delisha, what you think?
Again, I don't hate Orton. It's just he makes it very apparent when he doesn't care, and that's when I check out. But that wasn't the case in this match. Honestly, going in, I didn't have high expectations because I was kind of tired of seeing these two go at it. But they were actually, like you said, they wound up putting on a really good match. And like you said, the pacing was good. They really had that. They actually have really good in-ring chemistry. So to where, and that really translates onto screen. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about Randy winning. I don't even know how I would have cared about Drew winning either. Like I said, because I'm kind of tired of these two going back and forth. So I feel like we probably will see them, but go against each other again. Well, maybe not the next match because that's Survivor Series. So maybe at TLC they'll bring it back around. But I do want to see someone else go for the title. But right now I don't know who they will be grooming for that right now. Maybe Keith Lee. Maybe. Oh gosh.
The Fiend.
They might try to do Braun again. I don't know.
No, the Fiend.
But. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. The only thing is Well, it's only been a week or two since the draft. They.
Oh wait. Wait. Yeah,
he hasn't kind of.
He's been attacking Retribution, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of been like. Hasn't really even been attacking, just been toying with them. So I'm not exactly sure. There's, I guess, in a sense, they're still kind of establishing himself on the Raw roster. But we got plenty of time, so we'll see. That actually could be the TLC match we see. Would be between the Fiend and I guess Orton if he's still champion by then, but yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone could lose it unless they do the Brock Lesnar route where he defends it on his own. If they do all 3-way matches at Survivor Series for brand superiority, no one should be losing their championship. I don't think. I don't think they can do. I don't think they can do that though, because I don't think they can have like no titles on the line.
I'm just saying, like, we can never discount the one-off
Right.
Raw championship match. Like Raw TV championship match, even though they usually don't change hands on like a really like A-list person like that. But not anymore. I should say they did it one time, but sometimes they can still surprise us sometimes. But yeah,
I can't see Miz going to NXT, but I was saying like, oh yeah, AJ Styles would have been cool to see. Yeah, that's true. I could see like one of the champions getting defeated like really badly in the 3-way match if they do that, and then Miz coming in and trying to win the Money in the Bank, like that, or at least he'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I can't see Orton dropping it. I can't see obviously never Reigns dropping it. Finn Balor I could see dropping it, but I can't see Miz going to NXT. Right, so maybe I don't know, maybe. But
he might go. He might say, "Hey, I want to use this for a tag team title." So,
I guess who knows what the rules are anymore. But with that said, we're gonna go to our finishers, and Delisha, you can talk about your low point, your high point, your overall grade.
I think the low point is going to be. Actually, there's a couple I could go through, but I think I'm really gonna put it on Hurt Locker. You know what? I'm gonna put it in not following through on storylines that we got excited about, because there was no resolution with Hardy and Elias. There was no really resolution or any point to Hurt Locker and Bobby Lashley and Flapjacks. No, I'm just kidding. Slapjack guy. And then they dropped the ball with Reigns and Jay, in our opinions, on that match. So I'm gonna give it to poor execution for my low points, because some of these matches really could have been elevated had they put the time in to really write it out thoroughly. And the high point, I will put to the two Hell in a Cell matches that switched title hands, because they could have dropped the ball there, but they didn't. They gave really good matches for both the men and the women, entertaining when I wasn't expecting it to. But overall, I think I'm going to give this pay-per-view a C-, only safe because the namesake of the pay-per-view, the 2 of the 3 that we got were really that great. So I'm going to give it a C- because everything else beyond those two kind of flew downhill for me.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you pretty much, but I'm gonna go with clear-cut things. We're saying that the low point was definitely the Jey Uso Roman Reigns finish, because I went over that ad nauseum about how it shouldn't have happened that way. The high point is definitely the Sasha and Bayley match. That was probably the best match of the night, if not the year. And overall grade, I'm gonna have to say, I was gonna say C+, B-. Probably gonna go with the C+ because it was pretty average, like, and bad. But the only thing that brought it over average and bad is the Bayley Banks match, as well as the Drew and Randy match. So I think that's the only thing that brought it over the top from being worse than D, So I think that bumped it up to a C+. Still not a good grade in my opinion, but that's what we have. So Delisha, where can we find you? And you have anything
you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Delisha Renee. Actually, no, you can find me on Instagram at Delisha Renee TV, and then on Twitter at Delisha Renee. And I have my own YouTube channel where I do vlogs and also doing healthy recipes as I go through my weight loss journey. So you can join me on over there and see what I'm doing over there.
Yep, and her link is always in the description below, so make sure you check her out there. As for me, or I guess as for us, the next time you'll see us is at Survivor Series, which is on November 22nd, the week of Thanksgiving. So pending any us going away, which we probably won't because it's COVID, it'll probably still be going on then. We'll be back on November 23rd, that Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. to do some more AfterMat and talk about Survivor Series that week. And as for me, I'll be back actually even sooner now because I'll be coming back to streaming pending my PlayStation 5 comes on release day. If it comes on release day, as it should be scheduled to, on November 12th, I will be streaming Friday the 13th with some Miles Morales Spider-Man, or Spider-Man Miles Morales is called.
For a second, I thought that was a crossover, and I was like, wait, oh no, 2 separate games.
Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales I'll be playing on Friday the 13th on November, if I get my PlayStation 5 on time, which I assume it should. I don't know why it shouldn't, but we'll see. And yeah, and then like we said for AfterMat. But until then, guys, make sure go and vote because it is time now. 1 week from tomorrow will be the election for the new leader of the country. So however you go vote, or however you want to vote, make sure you do it. That way you don't just complain by saying, who you want to go for, and then the other person wins. You complain. Not that one vote makes a difference, but it matters. Feel like you do some civic duty for yourself. So make sure you go vote. However you're gonna vote, just go vote. And don't forget to keep slamming the haters and be the champion of dreams. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on